Welcome to We Are One. I'm your host, Alessandro Palma from Brazil. Super happy to be here with our instructor, Sara Harper. Welcome, Sara. We missed you. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it feels like forever, Ali. I'm so excited to be here with you today. What a joy. Thank you. So, I would love to start today off with just a big hug. And so, we're going to get our hand underneath that armpit, the thumb in on the front, and we're going to just let ourselves drop in. And exhale, drop your shoulders, bow the head, and be the inner smile. And today I really just want to play with that be. Mary loved the word BE, and she would capitalize the word be. The acronym for B is breath essence. Be the breath I am. Those are a favorite line of mine and Mary's in class. Be the breath I am. Exhaling. And in fact, at one point she had this epiphany and she would say, exhaling from the farthest reaches of heaven to the farthest reaches of earth. Let that breath be you. So let that breath breathe you. As we exhale down the front, all the way, let it go. Receiving, inhaling the light, the abundance. Find your own natural rhythm as you exhale and inhale. Planting your roots, let your feet connect to the center of the earth, and with each exhaling and inhaling, see if you can feel the lengthening of your spine. Feel the lengthening of each vertebra as you receive that breath. And with each exhale, letting go any layers of tension. Any stress in the body, let it go. And what if the breath we receive right now, the breath that I exhale, that I let go, what if it's the breath for the whole month? For the whole year, this breath that I receive and exhale in this moment right now. And what if I could exhale and inhale for the whole planet? Mary said, with conscious and aware exhaling and inhaling. So as I inhale, I'm breathing in through the nose, into the sinuses, letting all of that oxygen fill into my head, into the brain, through the trachea, into the lungs. And I have a toy, and I would love to play for a moment. Allie, I wish I could hand this toy over to you so you could play along with. And here's a way that I want to just embrace the breath. And so from the moment it hits that nose and into the sinuses, I want you to just see if you can feel the three-dimensional as I go and hold this. So as I exhale all the way out, receiving, exhaling, letting go. I'm going to just move this down and see if I can feel that same expansiveness. Throughout my whole thoracic cavity. Let my lungs really get involved. See if you can feel the expansiveness, not only this way through your chest, but this way as you inhale and exhale. Feel the lengthening of your spine. I'm going to move this down just a little bit to the diaphragm and just see if you can feel the expansiveness and the movement of your own diaphragm as we exhale and inhale all the way from here. And back up a little further and all the way into that whole pelvic floor. Let's see if we can really let that breath move all the way down. And sometimes when I travel and I don't take this with me and for the demo, I'll just simply place my hands literally on the abdomen and then on the sides of the abdomen. So I can see if I can bring that same three-dimensional quality to my breath as I inhale and exhale, dropping my shoulders, softening. What do you notice, Ale, when you hold like this?
I feel comfort and the sense of expansion. You know that Alki is saying here in the chat that just to look at this makes her breathing deeper.
And could you feel the dimensionality of this when, I mean, is it penetrating across the screen, across the world as we inhale and exhale? I love this toy for that. Like, kinesthetically, it's so rich. I mean, it just really helps me to feel like I get engaged in my breath in a whole other way that I usually don't explore.
It shifts our perception and opens our eyes to see things that we were not seeing. It's awesome. Because this is likely what happens inside the lungs.
So one of the ways that Mary talked about receiving the breath of life was as light. And so how do we let that light of the seventh depth, the sun, we receive our spark through that main central, down the front and up the back, and it's referred to as our primordial fire. How do we let that light move in our body? And I think about the light of the sun, the seventh depth, that essence that's over, that umbrella over us all day. What if I'm bringing that light inside? How am I reflecting that light back to the sun? And so let's just play with that with a few breaths. How do we receive that light, and how do we reflect it back to the sun? How do we let our light shine? How do we radiate? So as you soften your gaze, focusing on your exhaling all the way, let it go. How do you bring that light into your breath? And how do you reflect it back to the world, to the sun? Okay, Ale, what shifts did you notice in your breath that way?
Wow, I feel I'm going into the body more deeply, and this sense of reflecting back, it also opens up a fresher perspective of how we can be part of the harmony of the solution as we align with the light. Beautiful. If we are well, we will reflect this light in a clearer, purer way. I feel expansion. I feel my heart. I feel like coming back home.
Oh, thank you. That's so sweet.
To
So to me, this feels like the vision quest. This feels like this time that we have to reflect. How do I want to envision? How do I want to dream and dream into that breath? We talk about the eyes and how we can see the light through a person's eyes. And at nighttime, we do that through our dream space or through our vision questing. And as I reflect on this time with lots of change, and it's like, how do I want to reflect my light back out in the world? How do I want to be, right? That breath essence. How do I really want to be? I looked up the word being in the dictionary at the University of Arizona Library, and it says being, an instant flash of light in midst of the eternal darkness, a perfect state of essence. That, wow. A perfect state of being.
State of essence. Wow.
And in Mary's self-help books, the practice is 36. Conscious and aware, exhaling and inhaling. Somebody's ringing my doorbell. Sorry for the light of the world's coming this way. I'm in the middle of pardon the dogs, pardon the ringing of the bell. That's okay, Sophie. Let it go. No.
How sweet. They are joy in our lives, aren't they?
Letting me know. Oh dear. Excuse me for a moment. I'm going to shut the door so it's not so loud.
They want to join us and participate and be.
The excitement of Zoom at home, right? Somebody comes to the door at my house and both dogs go. They're in their vision quest. They're making their presence known.
They're guardians of love.
Man's best friend, right? Mary had a saying for that. Exhale the dog so we can receive God. Exhaling from head to toe and toe to head. So if I look at the back of the head, the fours, that's DD. So when she'd say exhale all dirt, dust, and greasy grime, she was giving us a message of exhaling from head to toe and toe to head. So here's DD 4-4 and the GG safety energy lock 7 and 7. So from head to toe and toe to head was that DDGG, exhaling all dirt, dust, and greasy grime. And then she bring in safety energy lock 15, and she said that's the letter O. So if I exhale DOG, I can receive GOD.
Wow.
Isn't that so sweet? And so there was a commercial with Mr. Clean, and the woman would write dirt, dust, and greasy grime in the grease on the stove. And then Mr. Clean would come and wipe it away and everything would sparkle. And Mary said, that's house cleaning. And Jin Shin Jyutsu is house cleaning. We are cleaning our house. And so we have this beautiful way of exhaling from head to toe and toe to head, receiving that breath of life.
So would it be a possible way to practice, like giving ourselves this big hug, then holding our fours, then holding our sevens?
Absolutely.
Wow.
So you can also hold the back of the head, the fours. You could cross your hands and hold those big toes and really focusing on letting go from head to toe and toe to head. And she also showed in that same drawing that she would do, you could hold the 11 and 3 with the 15 and then 11 and 3 with the 25 as a way of also connecting up that breath of the DDGG to let go of all dirt, dust, and greasy grime.
What a gift you have given us today.
So, what fun. I'm glad the dogs barked.
And we hope that you felt this wave of war, of harmony and love
Yeah.
from this beautiful, simple, and deep practice that we shared today.
And let's connect back in with this big hug. And for a moment, just feel into the palms of your hands as you exhale and inhale, connecting with your breath, connecting with yourself. Find your own natural rhythm. Find a tender way to attend to yourself as you exhale and inhale. How do you reflect and feel the light? As you receive that light, and as you let it shine back out to the world. Back to the sun. Thank you, LA.
Thank you, Sara. I felt this was a spiritual experience for me. Thank you. People here in the chat are saying it was sacred. I agree. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us. And I heard that you are going to be teaching a webinar soon that is somehow connected to this practice.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes, on May 8th, I'm going to be doing a webinar. And one of my father was such a lovely man. I miss him so much. But one of his favorite things that he would say was, "What would love have me do today?" And so I'm gonna add a little Jin Shin Jyutsu to that and say, "What would love have me be today?" And Mary used the capital BE as breath essence. And so, one of the things that I wanted to really go into is healthy relationships in times of change, and look at a way to really vision and quest and look at those flows that really help us to balance, relax, and harmonize our relationships to ourselves and to each other, and to really connect our light, let it shine. So that's where I'm going with my webinar on May 8th. And then I have another one on May 22nd with Jill. It's a part 2. So that's what's coming up next for me.
I'm so glad to know. I will register. I can't miss it.
Yeah.
It's so deep, so deep. And we just go inside, and there we find this being. Yeah. Thank you. The webinar is going to be available soon for purchase.
Yes, it will be available soon. I haven't even turned in my title yet, but I will today with Casey, and then it'll be up on the website. Yes, it will be.
It's going to be there in a few days. Make sure you check it out, because what an opportunity of connecting and putting all of this together. Jin Shin Jyutsu is, of course, a support for our body, but it is a spiritual medicine. It takes care of spirit, mind, and body. So thank you for that perspective. Thank you.
Thank you, LA. So much fun to be with you. Love playing with you.
Me too, dear. And for those of you watching, thank you for joining us today. We wish you a great week ahead of you. And we will be back next Monday with another We Are One. On Friday, remember, there is also offering Harmonize to energize. Take good care of yourself. See you soon. Practice and be the smile. Thank you, Sara.
Thank you, LA. Thank you,
Bye
everyone, for
bye.
being here. Bye bye.